It's too hot to do anything outside today, so finally going to get around to doing some modifications on my Makita MLT100 table saw. This saw needs a lot of modifications. It's not the best designed piece of kit, as I'm sure most of you know. So what I'm going to be replacing today, this cheap plastic inset here. So I've unscrewed it, just take that out. Now what I wanted to do is replace it with one piece. I didn't want to do a timber one with lots of cutouts around all these things and bits glued together and trying to make it strong enough. I wanted something that was strong enough, one single flat piece and the right thickness of this thing. Now I've just measured this as 3.4 mil. What I'm going to replace it with is this, which is ACM aluminium composite panel, and it is measuring at 3.8 millimeters, so it's about 0.4 millimeters different, but hopefully that'll be alright because this current plate sits below the level of this anyway, so which is a bit of a pain as well because it catches on the end and drops at the beginning, and so hopefully this one will be closer to what I want. So I've just noticed though that this back bit here steps up a tiny bit, which is ridiculous. I don't know who designed this thing. Anyway, I'll now measure this onto a piece of this and then I can cut her out. So I've got my piece of ACM board here and the old inset sitting on top of it. I'm just going to trace around it now and then I can cut it out. Now I'm not going to cut out this groove in the middle, I just want the outside shape. So with the outline marked from the old plate, I'll stick the old plate back in and then I can cut the piece of aluminium on the saw with a small blade on it here, and then we'll see if it fits. I'll do the cutting for this new inset on the table saw, so I'm going to chuck on a blade that I use for aluminium that I used to cut up this ACM board when I made my Avery, which is a video you can see on my other channel if you're interested. So I'm going to chuck that on now and then I'll do the cutting with that. I've decided to do these first couple of cuts on the drop saw just because it's easier. I've wheeled the saw outside now to do this last cut, the long cut on the table saw. So I will do that now. Back inside out of the sun where I can see again and not get fried. So I've put the lathe inset in here. It fits good length and width wise, but like I thought, that little step up at the end, a pain in the bum. So I just got to work out a way to get rid of that. I think I will stick it on the drop saw, just run cuts along it until I take it off. Only be about 3 or 4 cuts. I should have that done. I'll just measure that, mark it, do some shallow cuts. So 7.9 millimeters wide, that stupid little step there. It's only about a millimeter or so high. Yeah, bang on a millimeter. So I'll just take that off the back of here, millimeter by 8 millimeter on the drop saw. What I need to do now is just set this stop so that it doesn't cut all the way through my piece of ACM, and then I will be sweet. A bit of Now that it fits snugly in there, I just need to put the holes in it. So I'll mark that out using the old plate that was in there. I've taped the plate down onto my new plate. I'm just going to mark the holes now so I know where to drill. To drill the holes, I'm using a 4.5 millimeter bit with a countersink attachment on it. That way I'll countersink and drill the holes all perfectly in one whack. I'm going to do it on my bench drill. With my holes drilled, I can now chuck her back in, peel off the protective coating, and put it in place. Colour almost matches and everything. Right, so I'll screw that back on. I might just give the edge a bit of a sand there, it's a sharp edge, and screw it back on. So all the screws lined up nicely, so that's always a bonus. And it is now almost ready to go. You may be asking, well, where's the groove for the saw blade? Well, that's the fun bit. I'm just about to put that in by raising the saw blade that's on there, which is still the aluminium one I've got on there. I'll do a first cut with that. And I'm just going to raise it up through the middle of this slowly, and that will cut the groove. And we'll have a nice tight groove rather than the huge gap on the other one, which is rather dangerous. So let's go. It almost seems a shame to put a cut in it, but it's not much good without it, so here goes. Just remember, wind it up slowly. That's as far up as that blade will go. I'll put the full size blade back on now and finish it off. There you have it. 1/0 clearance insert for the top of a Makita MLT100. Hopefully it'll serve me well. Now this of course hasn't got room for the riving knife on the back there, but most of the time I don't use it anyway. But I will make another one. Maybe I'll do a video of it with the riving knife. I've got to make a new riving knife as well, which will be another video. So I hope that was helpful. This ACM ACP, it's got lots of different names. Aluminium composite panel, very handy stuff, absolutely perfect for this, much more solid than the piece of junk that came with it. So hopefully that was helpful, and if you like it, please subscribe. I'll be doing a lot more mods to this saw when I get the time. Hopefully it won't be too far to the next video. So cheers, see you next time.